Welcome everyone to a new episode of Downtime. I'm your host DX, and well, it's been another week, and quite a bit has happened, I would say. But there is one major announcement that basically shocked us pretty much. Well, we'll get into it. This time around, I'm joined on my right by Derek Vasconi. On the bottom left, it's Colin Jansen. On the bottom middle, it's Mette, and on the bottom right, it's Maru. Welcome everyone.
Hello.
Everyone?
Hey, we're all here.
Yep, it's been a while since we had a five-person podcast, so
Five-way.
this is going to be fun.
A five-way.
It must have been like 5 or 6 weeks since I was last on a podcast with Colin.
Yeah.
Pretty
A
much.
long ass
Wow.
time. Yeah.
Very long. We skipped a week. And I couldn't do like 3 weeks in a row. It's been a while.
And then I couldn't,
I can't even
couldn't do
remember.
one, and it's been a really long time.
Yeah, pretty
Timing
much.
Doesn't
Yeah,
work sometimes.
timing. So it just happens, you know. So what's going on? What has been going on, you guys?
Well,
Furniture?
Colin?
yeah, start it off. I mean, we haven't seen you in a while. What,
Yeah,
what have you been up to
Colin.
besides moving?
So you guys want to do furniture talk?
Yes! Yes,
Oh.
tell us what you made. What you made.
It was many things. So I said it a few weeks ago. We've been doing basically the entire ground floor, like new stuff, new furniture, everything except the kitchen. We got new and the TV, but like new chairs, new couch, salon table, cabinets, and I made pretty much all of it. I had help. Basically, the salon table at the dining table, I did myself. That was rather easy. But then the cabinets. I got help from my uncle. One Thursday, 3 weeks ago, we spent like 7 hours
God.
making
Ow.
two. If he had not helped me, I would not have been able to do it because I've never. The tables are easy.
Yeah.
Chairs are easy.
Uh-huh.
The couch with just like the little feet at the bottom, that was easy. But like
Okay.
an entire cabinet, with doors that open and
Yep.
drawers. That was I have not done that, so I needed his help. Otherwise, I would not have been able to do that. And now it's awesome. It's back again. 3 weeks without furniture. I was already used to it, and now it's like new locations, and I still bump into something that I would never have done because it's new. I need to get used to it. And other than that, still a little bit of touches here and there need to be done. But other than that, oh thank God it's over. Oh, it's like 4 or 5 weeks without furniture because we had to wait for the painter as well as the new stuff. But it's done. Oh, it's done. That's done. Now I
Good.
can get back to the attic.
Uh-oh.
No, the attic is something else. I get help from my sister. It's a full attic, and we need to get rid of stuff. But I cannot do it myself because there's so much stuff. My dad's work-related stuff, and so we need his authorization that we
Yeah,
can throw it
input
away.
basically, yeah.
Yeah, and pretty much toys.
Oh,
I'm like, do you want to throw this away, sis? I like to keep it, and then that I can do it
And then you
myself.
keep everything?
And we've been doing it for weeks because we need the time to do it. Because also to throw everything away, and that just takes time. That's the long story short. I'm happy that most of the things in the downstairs area are finally done. That was because one recording I couldn't attend because I just was so exhausted from doing all those things. I think that was 2 weeks ago. I think. But now I can do it. I have more time again,
Nice.
sort of. Still work, but I don't have to do furniture anymore. That was.
I can hear
I'm
the
happy.
pain in your
Yeah,
voice.
exactly. It's
Yeah.
really noticed in your voice, man.
Maybe I'm upping it a little bit, but for comedic sake. But I'm happy that it's like all over.
Nice.
That's it. No, I got nothing else. Just
Yeah.
we're doing good. Looking forward to Christmas. That's the thing.
Very
Mette,
good.
what's going on?
Well, I still go to school and I got a package last
Ooh,
week.
yeah.
Ooh.
So,
Yes.
and you can see I'm wearing my B3 t-shirt
I know
today.
at least one user that's going to be jealous. I just read it in the comment, so yeah.
Yeah, so I did an unboxing video on Friday, I think it was.
Yes, you did. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing.
And you got a ton of views too already. I'm so jealous of you. Like
She got
I was
more
like,
than the last 2 podcasts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Did go first. Thailand loves you, Matt. Thailand loves you.
Yeah.
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
We've been telling you, you are the favorite on this podcast. The fan favorite.
So far, I got a lot of work to do.
Please take my spot. Please take it. You know, it's open.
No
Open,
way.
hey.
That you're
I win.
doing a great job. So
Yeah.
like, yeah. So how was the unboxing? I mean, that was your first time doing an unboxing.
Yeah, so usually when I buy B&K stuff, I've gotten like pieces of it, and it's been like just a CD, just a photo book. And this time I've decided to get like a bunch of stuff, and some of it was delayed because it was pre-order. So we just boxed it together and had it shipped from Thailand
Nice.
to me, and it took about 2 weeks or so.
Oh, not that bad actually.
And then DX and Maria suggested I should do an unboxing because I've talked about watching unboxing stuff on YouTube before.
Exactly.
And yeah, it took me like 10 or 11 tries in like one shot to get it right. And I always ended up stopping like halfway because I wasn't happy with what I was saying or how it was sounding. And then I finished it, and then it went up, and I'm so happy people have enjoyed it and have asked for more. So
Yeah, exactly.
maybe at some point.
But
First time,
yeah,
so you know.
for first time is always the
need to
hardest,
work
so
with that.
it'll get easier after this actually.
Yeah.
I used to do unboxings myself for a bit with Yayo back in the day, but haven't ordered anything lately. But
I remember those. I remember. Yeah.
I really should order
But-
something again.
Right. Anytime Yayo did anything, like even unboxing, it was just this like weird trip down some bizarro land that didn't make sense. It's up to him, to nobody else. So I don't know. For Met to do this and to have that many views right away, really good job. I hope that opens up some doors for you in terms of maybe thinking about doing this maybe a little bit more even for yourself. You know, like doing your own little blog thing, because I think you would do really well.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, you have that many views unboxing something. That's just that's crazy to me.
Well,
So
in my defense, I did also do like the guessing game. That's really popular with fans when they go to like the cafe
okay.
and when they go to handshake events. They keep pulling up like the first part of the members' heads and keep trying to guess which member they got. And I decided I wanted to do that for my heavy rotation photos because people really enjoy seeing if I can guess correctly.
the very fact that you know to do that is why I'm saying like maybe it would be good for you to do something in this style for your BNK bros and sisters, because they really love you.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think they want to adopt you and so
Pretty much, yeah.
you should give them more encouragement, because I can seriously see like a plane ticket and a front row seat at the B&K Theater coming your way at some point. I swear to God,
Yeah,
it's gonna
I wouldn't
happen.
be too surprised, especially since I was already visited BNK pretty much. So
Yeah, well, I've seen B&K, the Space Mission concert, and I did go to the election, the first one.
Amazing.
amazing.
So I really want to go to the theater one day and go and watch them there.
As is the dream.
That's the big
for us
dream,
all.
yeah. Maru, what's going on?
Well, my week has been basically having one breakdown after another. Some from Sakusaka, others from Espa. Meta has been taking the brunt of my breakdown. Like the others have seen like the surface level of it.
Yeah, pretty
Meta
much.
has seen it all. Like I cried to her about those girls.
Oh,
like
wow.
at one point, it was just everything that's been happening and released has been so amazing. And tomorrow is Espa's. Oh well, today for them already, I guess, is Espa's debut. And I just can't. I just can't.
Wow. Yeah, to be quite honest, I've seen the Espa teaser myself, and it was quite interesting, and I'm really curious about what the first style of the song is going to be. They didn't show too much, but I am intrigued by the teaser, to be quite honest.
Oh, I think it'll be something that Derek will like,
Ooh.
to be honest.
Looking forward to it. I can't wait for next podcast. We can talk about it. So
Derek,
Yeah.
Derek, what did you do last week?
Lots as usual. But basically, I guess I could boil it down to the big thing is I went to Nagano
Oh.
for Miko's photo shoot. We did like a 2-day photo shoot. The first day was for the more normal part of the book. It's because Miho is gonna be the lost daughter of the artist Hokusai. So Hokusai's daughter was in real life was really devoted to him in his old age and stuff. There's a very famous like sculpture of his daughter and him like and she's like bended down, he's bended down there, he's working and she's like assisting him, and there's just garbage everywhere, and it's like they were just so in the zone of being creative. And even she did her own creative things later, and I thought, well, it'd be kind of cool to create like a deranged lost daughter from this like mad genius scientist that was way ahead of his time in terms of like art and what he understood with art and everything. And so the first part of the photo shoot was done in Yanaka-Ginza, which is like a really old school, like touristy type town here in Tokyo.
Yeah, near Nippori, right?
Yeah, Nippori. Like I think I had mentioned that before at a previous podcast. But this time I want to go to Nagano to shoot Miho and a ryokan. It's my first time ever going to ryokan. First time I was ever able to go into a private onsen because
those are
you
awesome.
know.
Those are awesome.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was great because the guy who ran it, Tyler, he's from Seattle. He's a gaijin, and his wife's Japanese.
Oh.
It's kind of funny though, because Tyler's like LeBron size as far as like he could be in the NBA. I mean, he's so tall. His wife is tiny, and so it's just a funny gap.
Yep.
But he was really nice. He's real cool, and he was like, "Yeah, Derek, just you can film here. You can do whatever you want. It's cool." They weren't that busy. They had a couple couples there. Everybody, it's so big. It's really private. Plus, he gave me the big private room, so like we had this really beautiful room to shoot in, which was good because I put Miho in just ridiculous things and positions and for the shoots, and like she was game for it all, which was cool. Like when you're doing stuff like gravure, especially that gets a little tricky, especially in a public place like that. So it was nice to have this private place where Mio could get like pretty much naked, and like there wasn't an issue with that. It was just me, the photographer, and her. So like we were able to get the shots that I wanted for like the concepts, everything I was going for. Like one of the shots, I had Mio start in like June or July, start writing on a calligraphy scroll. Like just she made a massive kanji scroll, and my idea was she would be naked and then I would wrap her in that, like kind of over her breasts and her bottom section, and so you'd only see like her stomach and her face, and like and she's crazy and her hair is all messed up because the idea is like she's at the end of her thinking, the words are like crazy, she's down on the ground, she's basically gone. And that was sort of the concept I wanted, because the whole point of the book is like meeting people and then leaving again soon and stuff like that. So and also Miho has like a really nice, like really really sculpted body, like as far as like her stomach, her legs, everything, like she's really sculpted. So I wanted to show that, and I'd asked her like, "Are you okay with that?" Like I'm asking you to get really personal here. But I've known Miho for like 15 years or something. So she was like, Derek, I don't care. Like whatever. Like if you say it's for this, and she liked the concept, she's like, I'll go all in. So she did. And so we got this beautiful shot, but I couldn't imagine like, somebody walking in and seeing that. Like it would have been,
Definitely.
when you're dealing with very
It definitely
intimate.
sounds really interesting, like the concept you're doing, because like this, if I understand it correctly, it's like this crazy but like kind of a genius concept. She just had that eureka moment and now has been awake like a gazillion hours writing it all that down, and is now in a state like just all that's left is her ideas.
100% correct. You're 100% right on, because the idea of the whole of like Miho's whole thinking is about impermanence. She's very Buddhist in her thinking. Like in real life, she's like that. Like she's very like shogunai. Like life is what it is, and what happens, and we meet people and they come and they go. And Hokusai's great wave painting and all that, to me, when I've actually seen the painting up close, I mean, I've been as close to it as I am to my computer. That's the feeling I got, and so I connected those two things to her into that one day, and then she went for it, and so so we did that photo shoot. That was all day, and then we stayed at the Ryokan, and then the next day we went a little bit sightseeing. We went walking around Nagano, and I met a samurai, and he was real cool. He was because the actual city is called Ueda, so it's like near Nagano. So Ueda's very famous. They have a very famous samurai who's part of that. Do you guys know anything about samurais? Any of you?
I know
Kind
a bit, yeah.
Yeah,
Stars, right?
a bit.
Yeah, exactly. So this samurai apparently is like one of the best samurais ever in Japan's history. His last name's Sanada or Sarada, and he has like a helmet with deer antlers,
Oh, okay.
and he was just awesome. He was walking around cosplaying, of course. And we went to the castle, and like you couldn't really go in or anything, but you can go up to the top of like the castle and like look over the city. And he was at the bottom, and I talked to him. I was so just fascinated. I love samurais. I love ninjas. I love all that stuff. I have since I was a little kid. Not a weeaboo, I promise. But
Totally
the thing,
not. Of course you're not.
yeah. But the thing is like, when I met him, he surprised me. Aside from being like really cool, like just he's a samurai and he was totally in character. Then he went out of character and did something completely Japanese, but like not samurais, I guess. I don't know what he handed me a Meishi card.
Oh,
And
really?
it was like, and he like came out of nowhere too. He was like magic tricked it. It was like "Dong." It was like, hi, I am something Senator. Here's my Meishi, and it's just like samurais. I don't think had Meishis, bro.
Nope.
We should send your idol girls a clip of you fanboying over a samurai. See what they think of it.
I mean, it's on Twitter right now. Like I put up a picture of that, and on Facebook there's a video of me meeting him and everything. Because I think Miho and Izumi-san they were just hysterically laughing at my stupidity of just being such like fanboying over this like amazing specimen of history. So it was funny. But he had a Meishi.
Oh God, you're such a fanboy. You're such a fanboy. Amazing specimen of history.
Sorry. Yeah, I don't know.
No, don't be sorry. It's to put it lightly, it's cute.
Yeah, no, it's well deserved. Whatever you're gonna say, it's okay. I often end up down the tunnel of a shotgun of joking pointed right at me. Boy, I'm just good with the metaphors, analogies, and similes, aren't I today? Anyways, so that was my week. It was just in a show. It was a lot of fun. Her photo book we're gonna be debuting it next month. We have the date and stuff figured. Or no, not next month. Next in January. But she's gonna be debuting next month, like her first single, and
nice.
so this was kind of leading up to all that. Yeah, I'm just really excited to share it with everybody. It's gonna be good. So
when are the pre-orders starting on Idol on the world?
Soon, very, 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 very soon. As soon as I get photos back that I can start posting, I'll do that. So,
gotcha.
Oh, but DX, you haven't talked about what you've done.
Yeah, what have you been up to?
I've been wondering about doing a bit more diverse type of content for the channel actually, and then Meta came with the idea to do the unboxing, and I was like, yeah, sure, just film it and I'll upload it to the channel and we'll see what happens. Well, now we know what actually happened, and it's given me more courage to give you guys. If you ever want to do an unboxing or a vlog or anything in the style, just let me know and I'll upload it to the channel, and we'll just wait to see the reaction. Because seems like people are really wanting more diverse content, so like a vlog or an unboxing or the podcast itself. So I would say go ahead. If you have any footage you want me to upload on the channel, hey, just let me know.
Well,
like requests in the past for like doing unboxing videos.
Yeah,
Remember
exactly.
that?
Yeah,
exactly. A while ago.
It was a while ago. Yeah, I was just gonna say that, Colin. Like, and also just to all the fans out there, yeah, if you guys have specific requests of any of us, let us know. I mean, we read the comments, so if there's something you guys are wanting to see, I think we're all game for that. Thanks to Met's like inspiring unboxing of 2020 that just will forever go down in history as the beginning of all madness.
A Wikipedia page has already been made.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
I'm shining the spotlight on you, Matt. Don't ask me why I have a flashlight right now. I couldn't even tell you.
Oh,
Sometimes
okay.
just random stuff, you know.
Mm.
But since we're staying on the topic of BNK, let's talk about their subunit, LYRA. They have released their song last Friday, I think. And
Yeah.
Derek, you wanted to take point on this one, so go ahead.
Oh, actually, can I start? Because actually, Derek, you decide. You can go first because I actually don't like it. And so this is kind of the flip side of last week.
Uh-oh.
Do you want to go? Still want to go first?
I'll end because I think I have a lot to say. But please, well, why don't you like it?
Okay. I think it's like a good base for a song. It's like the song you get when a producer has an idea, and that's like the first draft. It sounds. It doesn't sound fully fleshed out. It sounds like it could be a good song if the instrumental was more full and more everything, and just it's like it sounds like it could be a good song. Essentially.
But your only gripe is the song doesn't feel complete, or?
No, the song feels like it's like a full song, but it feels like it isn't finished. Like well, because we only have the song as of right now. Like the instrumental, just the drop especially, it feels like I get this is a drop, but I don't feel like I can't vibe to it because something's missing. Like the drop part of it isn't a proper drop. The instrumental just isn't good enough yet.
Derek, your thoughts?
Well,
now
just two questions.
Praise them.
No, two questions.
Okay.
So this is BNK subunit LYRA. Do we have an MV for it yet, or no?
Not yet.
So the MV was supposed to come out on Friday, but they said there was something wrong with the video, so they postponed it. And I thought it was gonna come out on Saturday, but then it hasn't come out yet. So I don't know when it's coming, but soon.
Second, who do we know who wrote the song? Is it somebody from Japan, or does Thailand have their own writers?
I'm not 100% sure because I didn't look at the credits yet, but I can look and find out.
Yes,
but I think it's someone from Universal Thailand or Universal Music, but it could be the K-pop guy from last time as well.
I feel like it's the K-pop guy, but
it is the same guy. It's the same guy.
Yeah,
I thought so. Okay, all right. So before I get into it, does Colin or DX have any thoughts? Because I'll save mine for last. Or Matt.
Well, for me, I listened to the song a couple of times, and to be quite honest, I quite enjoyed it. And I don't agree with the song not being fleshed out. For me, it was pretty good. It was pretty good for me, but I tend to listen to a more listen to it and enjoying it, but not necessarily going into the specific or the technicalities basically. But for me, the song was enjoyable, so that's my take on it. Colin?
I thought there was an MV, there wasn't, so I didn't watch it. I was like, I'll wait for the MV. You know, like I always.
Yeah, true. That's a good.
Right on. Matt?
So, I like it. There are parts of it I don't like that I think it could have been different or there could have been something more, but I like the feeling of the song. Given that we don't have an MV, I'm just going off the associations I get from the song, and it just feels like the type of song I'd listen to while on the train and maybe in the summer, and I like the vibe it gives me. And I do like the girls who are singing, and I do think the lyrics is also really good, even though there are parts of it that's kind of a little bit weird for me. That I think the "Still Miss You" part goes on maybe for a little bit too long. But I like it. I like listening to it. I will keep listening to it. And I'm excited to see an MV at some point.
Yeah. I would actually like to add here that with Matt, that I agree the vibe is really good. Like I said, it sounds like a song I would really love. But if there weren't the problems I talked about, like the idea of the sound to me sounds excellent.
So it's funny because it's like I'm thinking like, shit. Like Marie just totally readjusted my thinking because what you said really makes a lot of sense. Because from a musician standpoint, what you said is pretty true. Like it does feel like this guy put a bunch of ideas together and was like, let's see what sticks. If he had actually taken some time to really add in texture and different things, this song could be not just song of the year, song of the past 5 years potentially. It has
Yeah.
that kind of a quality. He didn't do that, of course. So the thing for me, the reason why I think this could still be one of the contenders for song of the year is just because let me just break it down. It's different. The very fact that it isn't fleshed out kind of makes it different. I like that. That does have its own quality. Two, the vibe, as you guys have said, it's haunting. It's not happy per se. There's parts, but like that end part, for me, that's really what seals this for me. That's really what takes the song to the next level for me in terms of my liking of it. That last little part is unbelievably haunting. It's unbelievably beautiful. I literally cannot wait to see what they do for the MV for this. I would die to see this live and with a good sound system because I feel this is a song that would hit you in the feels really hard live. Like you're right up front, and because I don't think in that last part the girls are going to be so much dancing as giving you a message about the feeling they're trying to convey. And what I mean by that is a lot of times you watch idol groups, like they're so focused on just getting the song done and the dance moves correct. And sometimes you lose the essence of the point of the song or the vibe it's trying to create. Not with this. I think even if they mess up, trip, and fall over each other's feet in this song live, like you're still gonna get that feeling because like that he touched the writer touched on something really good there, and it's the fact that the vocals start to mesh with the music towards the end, and it starts intertwining and intertwining with each other. That's not easy to do musically. I'm just gonna say that right now. Like as a musician, as somebody who's coming from a musical background, that's hard. So I give him all the credit in the world. If it's a him, sorry, whoever did this, I'm giving the right. Okay. I'm giving him all the credit in the world for doing that, for coming up with something different. Also, the drop comes out of nowhere. It's not even a drop. It's like the end of that song. It just starts going in that whole different low tempo direction. I like that. I wish it would have built it up. I wish it would have had a proper like drop off. But it also didn't need it for me. I don't know. I gotta be honest. I wasn't expecting this after what we heard initially from LYRA, and now they have my complete and undivided attention because I think if they can keep coming up with haunting little side songs like this, that makes them okay. Like, because not every song has to be a stadium anthem. Sometimes it could be something like I think what you guys are saying, like you listen to it in the summertime and just relax and chill to. But I think live it would have a whole different metamorphosis. Like I think listening headphones, yeah, you'd feel chill, breezed out. But I think live, you'd feel it here. You'd be like, oh my god, like it would overwhelm you. It's kind of like reminds me of an NGT song that I really liked. 2 years ago with Mahahon in it and everything. It was like real chill. It was a B song. And I remember
I remember that one. Yeah.
I went on and on about it. And then I saw them perform it at a handshake event, and it was literally life-changingly like amazing, like in terms of the feeling, how beautiful it was, the singing, but most of all it was loud. It was so different with the volume up because it just I felt it, man. When that bass was kicking on that song, it kicked. So I think this is one of those songs, if you had like a proper bass amp sound system, oh man, I think you'd feel this one.
So
So
yeah, I think the difference between me and you here is that
hmm.
I'm really bothered when I can imagine how a song can be better, because then it bothers me because it isn't that better one, and that stops me from enjoying it as it is. So because like yeah, I don't totally agree. It has so many interesting parts. It has like I said, the idea is great. The parts are interesting. Just I can imagine it being better, and that ruins it for me.
No. Oh, no, I hear you there. I mean, I am the same as you, Maria. Like honestly, there's a lot of times when I'll hear a song, and especially the last 15 freaking releases from AKB, and I'm thinking like, yeah, like put this part here, change. Why don't you have a drop here? You could have made this vocal line better. I'm always analyzing and thinking like that. But sometimes when you hear a song and that melody snags you, you don't care. Like for
Then it
me,
should.
it, you know what I
get
mean?
that.
That it
I
did
get
its
that.
job. Now, don't get me wrong. After hearing this 400 times, I'll probably feel that way. I'll probably be like, they could have changed this. I want more here. But that's the beauty of songs, right? Is like
Yeah.
sometimes the best songs leave you hanging, and then you keep going back because you still like what you're hearing. In this case, though, he put a bunch of different parts together.
Yeah.
I think he could have fleshed them out more. I
But-
am in agreement
but-
with you there.
But like getting hooked by one melody, that reminds me. I don't know if you've heard it, but it's like monster. Why should I care? Creatures lie here, looking through the window. It's like one snippet
Mhm.
from a really average song, and that one snippet, one line, got so famous it has like a gazillion remixes made out of it.
Amazing.
But the rest of the song is so average that it's just not worth
Sure.
listening to it. It's just one line that is good. Like I think this reminds me of that a bit.
No, mate, I could hear that because for me, at the very end of the song, that's what I'm gonna remember. That's why I listen to the song 10 times.
Yeah, you
because
could listen to that part on loop.
they literally could loop that part, and that could be the song for me because it comes out of nowhere. It's beautiful, but what I like, the part that's magical for me, is the vocal melody before that drop. It just kind of eggs into that part, and it fits. It's like, I wonder how long that took to write because I couldn't write something like that. And so I gave him all the props in the world for that. But
Yeah.
you're right. He could have fleshed everything else out
Yeah.
too. But that's why I want to know if it was a Japanese person writing because, again,
Oh,
I'm
right,
working
yeah.
with songwriters,
Yeah.
and like they're all these Japanese people. They're coming from basically 2 parts from the song and some variation.
That's it.
And
Oh,
in
but-
4 minutes.
But I don't think DX has even had time to say his thoughts on this once again.
No, to be quite
We keep-
honest though, to be quite
We keep
honest,
blabbing.
yeah, it's okay. But to be quite honest, for me the song was pretty good to listen to. But indeed, now that you've mentioned it, there was that one part that really stood out for me, and the rest felt there. It's more like it felt like they were in a rush to release the song, and if they've taken just a bit more time,
Yeah.
like 1 or 2 weeks extra, I think the song could have been felt more fleshed out and more
Yeah.
complete on a technical basis, I would say. But the songs for now it is okay, but it could have been awesome or even better than that. And it's a missed opportunity if they've just taken a bit more time. But the song itself is enjoyable, but it could have been better. It could have been way better.
Well, I think when we get to see a live performance of this, that maybe it could change some of our view on how we feel about the song. But still, I think this is maybe going to be my favorite song from LYRA for the foreseeable future. Even though I'm usually more of the girl crush type of music listener, I just really love the vibe and the feeling of this song. And I do like, they did translate the lyrics on the official lyrics video, so everyone could just see what they actually said.
Nice.
And that kind of messaging that the song has really resonates, for me at least.
Yeah.
That's just wondering what the MV is going to feel like since that hasn't been released yet. So
Yeah.
it kind of also the MV is going to either elevate the song even more or it keeps it at the same place it is now. So I think a lot's going to be dependent on the MV, to be quite honest, as well. So
Well, three letters to say here: B, N, and K. I mean, these are the honor students of the major idol world at this point. So I have nothing but high hopes because, again, even their side unit, although their initial release was not really up to what I was hoping maybe or was interested in, this is definitely like a whoa, new direction. I mean, for me, Keiya Kizaka, it took till Fukuan for me to really pay attention to them. Even though, don't get me wrong, Silent Majority and Futari Saizan are great. They weren't even on my radar until Fukuan. And then once we heard that, it was like, oh, wait a minute, this group is ridiculously good. I mean, because that song's a game changer. This isn't game changing by any means, but I could hear the hint of it.
yeah.
I could hear something
Yeah.
brewing, so I have hope.
Exactly. So it's going to be a bit of a waiting game, but for now the song is good, but it could have been way better, and it's a bit of a missed opportunity if they just had taken a bit more time because it wasn't that long since the first song Lyra was released anyway, so they should have taken a bit more time actually. So it's
And
been
the album is out in like, I want to say end of the month or mid-December or something, because they're going to do handshakes for it in January or February.
well, that's soon already. Wow.
Mm.
But speaking of handshakes, isn't there going to be trouble with the COVID regulations and such in Thailand, or?
Well, there are regulations in place for when they do handshakes. So every girl is behind these plastic plastic covers, shields.
Yeah. The glass
And they
shields,
have
basically.
gloves on, and everyone has to take like a hand sanitizer on their hands before they go shaking the hand. And there's the 1 meter in between people. So they have regulations in place, and Thailand has been hit differently than other places.
True.
Like there's still COVID there, but they've been able to get away with a lot of stuff quickly. So they've been having like mini road shows for a while now, and they had the Junkin with an audience in the room, even if there were like spacing between the seats.
Oh, right. Awesome.
So we were lucky, very lucky.
Yeah, that's really fortunate because, well, over here in the Europe, it's a bit of a different story, to say the least. So, yeah.
But they do still have like the online handshake. There's going to be a new online handshake round, I think, for the third album.
Mhm.
So fans like us are able to get handshake videos from the girls
Oh,
if we
nice.
want to.
Oh, that's awesome.
Very cool.
Really looking forward to that. Going back to Japan and going to do a bit of a different approach. Actually, when I was looking around on YouTube today, I saw that an older idol group called Morning Musume, well, nowadays it's called Morning Musume 2020, also released MV and a new song as well. So it's more like, let's check this one out. And when I clicked on the video, I was like, yeah, I really like this. It's like got the classic idol feel song to it, and I really enjoy it thoroughly. And yeah, it's more like, yeah, let's talk about it during the podcast. So I sent everyone that link as well. So kind of want to hear your thought. For me personally, I really enjoyed the song, and it really took me back to when AKB was releasing songs like this. It's really enjoyable and a bit more up tempo. And I just hope, yeah, for now for this song, it was quite enjoyable. So, Colin, your thoughts?
Funny thing is, I don't follow Morning Musume really all that much. Like after Berries and Cute was done, I didn't really pay attention much to Hello Project, even though I think that they are great. And I saw you sharing this, and I was like, okay, a little bit out of nowhere. So I was like, let's check it out. That's something I could be interested in. Wow, fantastic! I love it. More so, this is one of those really rare exceptions where I love an MV more than a song itself. Only by a tiny bit. That usually doesn't happen. But I really like this MV. Like, fantastic! It's the best MV that I've seen this year. I just love the design. I wouldn't say that this is like, oh yeah, this is so my thing, like on the T. But I do really like it. I love the colors. I like the effects. I like the style. I thought it was, of course, it's blue, so that's probably the biggest thing why I like it that much. Like just that color alone, I'm like, I am engaged. That's for me the keyword. I'm engaged. Really with the MV. It's really Hello Project like. It's very weird. I can't describe how. And when I say Hello Project like, it's like basically, what I see with Barry Scobo. It's like I watch this, I'm like, yeah, this is not AKB at all. I can't explain why. It just has that feeling and that style that Hello Project tends to do. Because in the past, I did, I would check on something like Andrew Me last year, 2 years ago, I don't know.
Mhm.
And then I'm like, yeah, this is really so Hello Project like. Even if you look at like any of the past AKB ones, it's like it's so different. It has a different vibe to it. I can't really explain it, but I really like it. The costumes I really like. I think the members were great. I only know Nonoka Miki. She speaks English.
Ah,
That's the
okay.
reason
That's
I
the
know her.
reason.
She is who is great. Like she doesn't really have a prominence, but I was like, oh hey, there's Mickey. You know,
Wow.
it's like, oh hey, yeah, there she is. I forgot. You know, because I remember there was a time where she was overseas last year studying English. I think in Australia. I don't know. Follow her on Instagram, but I'm not really looking to Instagram all that much. But that I like the song itself. I like it. I dig it. Not really. I say I love it. It's my thing. But I was again engaged. I like listening to it, except a drop. That was not really towards the end, but way after the halfway point. I was like, oh, this is not good. It took me so out of it. That's the only part of the song I didn't like. It just didn't work in my opinion. But other than that, yeah, the MV, I'm like, I love this by default. Considering everything else that we've seen with like the 48 group, I'm like, yeah, I like this. I wouldn't say it's like my favorite MV ever, but just based on this year, I'm like, yes, yes, I dig it. I take it. You know, and that was what surprised me the most. I'm like, yo, I like this. You have me engaged again. Say I've said that like 3 times. But yeah, I take it. I wasn't, you know, I didn't want to necessarily watch it initially because I don't follow them. But when I saw the X sharing this, I was like, okay, let's watch. Who know what happens? And I dig it.
Good
That's
thing
it.
has happened.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good thing. Like again, I wouldn't check them out normally like I would do with like AKB or like even the other groups. But like, thanks. You know, I like it. I wouldn't again love maybe a bit too much, but I really, really, really like it. That's it. I'm
Awesome.
done.
Mhm.
Mette, your
Cool.
thoughts?
Sure, I can go before Maria, even though I think
Okay.
she has more to say
Yeah,
on
that's
this
okay.
than me.
Yeah, you go before,
Yeah.
so you
So-
won't have to repeat what I say.
Well, but that means I'm gonna have to say it first, and I think you feels more strongly about this than me. But we talked about this sometimes in the chat, and yeah, I like it. It's fine. I think it kind of reminded me, not the actual song, but like the MV. It kind of reminded me, especially the costumes of Come On the Gigs from NMV.
Mm.
Not like color wise, but like the same shiny stuff, and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we're going through, and then there's the lighting, and yeah, I liked it, but it's not gonna be near my top 10 for this year. And also, I don't really know anything about Morning Musume. I realized I used
Yeah,
to
same. It
like
was more
way
random,
back
you know?
when, and now it's like, all right, they are still here too.
Mari.
For me, it really gave me a really strong early 2010s vibe. Like
Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
it
yeah.
was like something from like 2012, 2013, and like I quite liked it. I really did quite like it, and but I was like, but my words aren't coming out right now.
Too much.
Words aren't working right now.
Words,
But I was-
the words aren't working, man.
Oh my god, no!
Somebody
Words
took them
difficult.
away. Yeah.
It was
And-
Swiper. Random.
which
Random.
I mean, which is quite interesting because like it would be interesting to see that kind of a vibe and sound like make a bit of a return, because like different sounds and concepts tend to do that, like make their rounds. So it would be see if like we'll get other songs similar to that as well once again.
Derek, your thoughts?
I mean, it's interesting because like so many of the idols that I interviewed for my documentary and everything, they drop Morning Musume's name and Hello Project. Many idols I work with are like deeply inspired by the Morning Musume girls, as well as Hello Project's overall like influence. I mean, they're everywhere. I have never been a fan of Morning Musume per se. I've never like really cared for their music. I always felt it was like you were either an AKB fan or a Morning Musume fan. You know, like in Japan, there's certainly that divide.
Yeah, true.
That there was back in the day. Now I don't think anybody cares, but or maybe they do. I don't know. I'm not in that world anymore. But I always remembered feeling like, you know, AKB was more my vibe, my style. Morning Musume, though, got to give them all the props and credit and love in the world. They've been around forever. They've done this forever. They have the respect of everybody. Even they can put out 10 bad songs in a row, and they're one of those rare groups that's okay. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't know. Like, they survived this much. And while they certainly were way more popular back in the day,
Yeah, true.
they're still here,
Yeah.
after all these years. And it is this was a nice song. It was very much them. Like, it was old school them, which was cool. But I feel like either way, it's not really like my thing, because again, I've just never been a Musume fan, but I deeply respect them. I deeply would hold them in the highest regard and esteem, and
Of course.
I have nothing bad to say about them or the MV or anything. The drop, I will agree there with Colin there. It was a little off. But I also feel like that was kind of one of the things I liked about it, because I like weird moments. But you're absolutely right. It does. You're just like you're going along with the song, then that happens. You're like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
Wait
exactly.
a minute. Sometimes that
I
works.
was like,
Sometimes it doesn't.
yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know, Colin. Let me ask you a question. Other than that, did you like the rest of the song for the most part, like the chorus, all that? Like,
The chorus more. When it really started to get to the chorus, I was like, okay, yeah, you got me. Because that's always the important part. If the rest is but the chorus is good, that's important. But if the rest leading up to it is serviceable and the chorus, it depends. But yeah, when it got to the chorus, I was like, yeah, okay, solid. I would, as Robin would say, if it was on the radio, I would keep it on.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those songs you listen to in the background, basically.
That's what I always say. But I say it as in, if it came on in a playlist, I wouldn't skip it, but I would have no idea how it made it into my playlist.
Fair enough.
Snuck in when nobody was looking. No, I mean, like, I'm working on writing songs right now with the Nogizaka 46 guy, and he just submitted to me tonight, actually, Miho's second song. And he had sent me the demo of the main melody line in it a couple weeks ago, and now it's fully fleshed out. He had a DJ friend help him with it. Again, I'm like, well, like, I like it, but we're gonna have to redo the whole thing because it's not what I want. But the chorus is so good. It's like, it has a hook and a half in it. Again, he knocked it out of the park with his writing of these songs. And but what Colin said, it's like, if the chorus is good, that's good, right? But in this case, the verse is so bad in terms of the vocal melody. It just plows along. It doesn't. There's nothing interesting to it, and then all of a sudden, you get hit with this like massive, awesome chorus. And I built the chorus around this idea of like having the first part of the chorus be instrument, not vocal, and then come in with the vocal, and it worked. It worked really well. I got the idea from Cyber. Cyber does that in one of their songs, and it's amazing how they do it. But like, it worked for this, but that verse leading up doesn't do anything. So that's sort of where I'm like, yeah, we gotta redo it.
Well, I'm sure you'll figure it out. Beat it into the right shape, so to say.
Yeah, just gotta work at it.
Take a hammer to it or something.
The thing with Morning Musume though is like I want to say they're in a financial position where this shouldn't be an issue, but I do appreciate that they would still want to take challenges like that, or like try to do something that doesn't quite fit. Again, not easy to pull off. Like Cyber has a song where the song is plowing along, it's great, it's beautiful, then out of nowhere comes this like badass, like bass heavy, like pulsating, like EDM drop that, I mean, it doesn't fit the song at all. But when you hear it over and over again, you're like, oh, that's the part I'm waiting for. Like, that's
some song. Well, that's an art on its own as well, because I have on this very same podcast named the same song, I've Got a Boy by Girls' Generation, that goes everywhere. And it's like, if you listen to them separately, none of the parts fit together. They sound like they're all from different songs. But somehow it works. It works. It's an art form. It's an art form.
Wow.
But the first time I heard that song, I didn't think that. I was like, "This is a mess."
Well,
This? I'm
exactly.
thinking like, yeah, you know.
But then some parts start to haunt you, and then you're just like,
Oh,
how like it's not supposed to work. Why does it work?
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Yeah.
staying in Japan and going to the elephant in the room. Today, the list of Kohaku has been released, and the Sakabichi series are in it, including Sakurazaka
Go Sakusaka.
and
Go
Hinatasaka as well.
Sakusaka.
However, the 48 group didn't make it this time around. It was suspected that they wouldn't make it because they've been in a bit of a downward spiral lately. But still, it comes as a shock. So for me personally, it was more like I kind of expected it earlier to happen, but it's still a shock. And yeah, kind of wondering your thoughts. Let's start with Maru.
Well, I think like I get it why it happened this year. With like previous years, they've still done something during those years. They've still had some girls, but this year it's like they've done nothing this year. They have basically no girls left who the general public cares about. Kohaku has literally no reason to invite them. Like to perform Goishoro Fortune Cookie for the gazillionth time.
Yeah, true.
In a one.
Every like how long are they gonna invite AKB just to perform that one song, you know?
For years. We'll
Yeah.
have like the 96th generation, and then Mion makes an appearance with a stroller, doing a special version. Oh,
Yeah.
I would wonder how that would sound like.
I think that would be very popular if like a really old idol like comes back on stage to perform their hit. That would go so viral, everybody would love it. Like even people who aren't fans would be like, "Oh, that's
That
great for
granny
you."
go.
Exactly.
I can see that.
Mette, your thoughts?
So, of course, I'm sad. Like,
Yeah.
I want AKB to be on Kouhaku. I've been watching Kouhaku for years now. I'm just waiting with excitement for AKB to come on. And then, BNK has been on for twice now as well as guest of AKB, and that's been incredibly fun. And CGM got to send someone. But at the same time, if we just look at AKB, I think this is the point where if this was a movie or a documentary, that this is our downward spiral, it's going bad, and then at some point something has to change, and then we can start on the way up again with AKB towards what it's supposed to be now and not what it was in the golden era.
Colin, your thoughts?
Particularly surprised that they didn't make it. I read that there was a poll and they didn't get in. I don't know if that's true. I saw it like once. But whatever the case is, not really a surprise. I'm like, the best way I can put it is that they didn't really quite earn it. At least,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Sakurazaka, they had something recently. Hinatasaka as well, relatively recently. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, but AKB hasn't had anything since Shitsu and Arigato. Even though they could, NGT had something, the 46 groups I just mentioned had something, NMB had stuff, so, but still, I do feel bad for the girls because, essentially, pretty much every member, gave thoughts on, sorry that we didn't make it, we should do better, something along those lines, it's always, we should have worked harder, we will work harder, yada yada. Not to be yada yada, but sounds. I'm not trying to diminish that, but I do hope that maybe they see this as an opportunity, or another opportunity. I will admit that. As,
Wake up call.
Really,
Wake up call, basically.
yeah, a better wake up call, especially because I am in from Team K, 16 Gen member. I think she had her birthday stage Saturday, I think. And she said, I quit university to focus on AKB48.
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
read
wow,
that.
yeah.
That's insane.
I was like, okay,
Worst time to do this.
okay. And now this comes out. It's like, yeah, good choice. But a little bit sucks for her. Great for her. I really like her. Like, I hope she would do more great member in Team K. It's like, yeah, not really good moment to do that. It's again, it's her choice, but basically, I do hope that they see it as to really work at it. They have done stuff. They are really trying stuff. They are doing that esports event soon. And I really hope, and they've been trying. I know Team B had like a rehearsal or something. I don't know what for, but they were together today. And I hope that they will do something more. I really look forward to that esports festival, by the way. Was really happy that they announced that. I haven't been on since that got announced. So I really hope that they really try to do more. They've been doing stuff. Like today, also something happened, but we get there in a moment. So yeah, basically it sucks. Not surprising. Maybe next year. We'll see how it goes. We don't know. We don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Derek, your thoughts?
I mean, before I even get to that, I mean, do you guys have any idea, or would you guys think one possible reason they might not have got on as well might have been a management decision too, because you're dealing with a lot of young girls. There's a lot of liability there if any of them get COVID, and if they're in like a enclosed space, like at a live hall venue, for example, they wouldn't want to expose the girls to that many people. I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
I doubt that. I
Yeah.
sincerely doubt that. Because, like,
Okay.
even if it is, they think, like, oh, maybe, like, the underage girls, like, their parents wouldn't want them to go. They still have so many of-age girls. And I doubt the girls themselves would be like, oh, no, it's too dangerous, we don't want to go. I really, really doubt this.
If it was something like this, though, there would have been a statement from management as well, though, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Up till this,
True.
up till now, there hasn't been anything from management side, so I highly doubt it's a management decision, to be quite honest.
In fairness, when it comes to AKB's management, they're not always transparent. So maybe it's still fair, to say they didn't say anything about it, but
They
I would
haven't
agree
been
still with
that ultra careful with with COVID. Like, sure, they've taken the measures, but they haven't shown any sign of being like really, really careful with it. So I doubt it's that.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious what you guys thought, because like
Yeah.
that would have been a good excuse for them to be used, or to like save face, if the very
course.
fact was like they just weren't asked to come back. But
That
the thing
would
is,
have been a good idea for them to just say we aren't going before they aren't invited. You
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
right. That might have been the smarter move. But the
Yeah.
two things I was thinking was, number one, there's this expectancy that we should see certain artists on Kouhaku, but that's the point of Kouhaku, I think, is to kind of celebrate this changing of the year and to give, Japanese families something to watch. And it's not necessarily for, I think, any other demographic per se. They've certainly have never tried to reach out to foreigners with this. As we all know, it's impossible to get like live streams and,
Yeah.
so I would say, like, to that effect, the fact that AKB isn't on it, that's just part of the game. That's just how it rolls with this place, with Kouhaku. But I would also say the second thing is it's still sad for the girls. I mean, what was this, 15 years, right?
Yeah.
Like,
15 years
11.
anniversary is next month, and this was supposed to be after 11 years, so this should have been the 12th, I think. Appearing
yeah,
at Kouhaku.
Karen's still there. It'd be nice to have seen her get something out of this. Being that she was originally my original OG Kamiyoshi back in the day. But I think, like, at the same time, we do need to see the new AKB, like as Matt said. We need to see what's going on. Like they really got to start figuring out what they're doing. Even, I'm not even talking about COVID, because look, like, one of the like biggest makers of vaccines in the world, like, was it Moderna or whatever, they just reported their vaccines like 95% effective.
Yeah.
And assuming all the trials go well, by this time next year, COVID will be, like, hopefully in our rear view. And so AKB's got to start thinking like, well, what are we gonna do like post COVID? Like, how are we going to keep this idea, this identity going? Because right now they are limping into 2021 with not much to show,
Nothing.
and that's probably the main reason why they didn't get in. They literally don't have a song this year that
Nope.
any of us could remember very well, and on top of that, you know, COVID did hit them, and I would say there's certain groups, certain people, certain institutions, the business that got hit harder than others. I'd say AKB got hit massively hard because their whole thing was come to these little small private theaters and we'll sell it out. We'll pack it so you can't. There's people in the backs and in the aisles, and watch these girls perform for 2 hours or hour or whatever, and that was all gone just like that. It was just gone. And so that's a lot of money out of their pockets. That's guaranteed money every day that they just don't have anymore. And then on top of that, they don't do any big stadium tours this summer. It's
Nope.
like there goes their whole income. So
Yeah.
I still don't think that's an excuse to not write good songs. I don't have any money, but I'm still somehow managing to pull out of producers I'm finding here great songs. I mean, I'm fully confident you guys especially will love, you know, like Mio's first song. It's so Nogizaka 46 inspired, but with Eric in it too. Because I added my own quirky. But like it's just you could still be passionate. And so Matt, to what you were saying, like that's what I'm really hoping. And just even being here and having my feet on the ground and being around people that work with AKB, being with AKB staff, which I have been recently actually, they all feel that same as you in a way. Like, what's next? They all want to know. Like, it's all like, where's AKB going? Because it's just been downhill. Nobody's got jobs. Hasn't been easy.
But to be honest, like at the moment, they are at the best place to start building again. They are at the rock bottom. Let us be honest.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
they are at the rock bottom. They don't even have any shows anymore. Which, to be honest, I would even say could be framed as a good thing because those are the old shows. Those are the shows from the golden era of AKB48 with the that used to have the golden girls but don't have them anymore. Yeah, it's like AKB, the golden AKB without the gold anymore. And like. Yeah, and now they've got the perfect opportunity to start building a new AKB around the new girls that is fitting to the current girls. I think me and Mette were actually talking about this. I think before the last week even of like what the next two singles of AKB48 need to be.
Yeah.
Oh, Derek.
Yeah.
Oh.
He bleeped.
Bleep bleep.
Bleep 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 bleep.
Yeah, just.
Are you back?
Not sure to be quite honest.
You're still here, Murray. You're still here.
Yeah, we can see you. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm here. Oh God, thank God.
Yeah.
I blame these guys for me being a grey blob for the half the last week's episode because I didn't know I was a grey blob and they didn't tell me.
Oh no.
Oh, okay. Anyways, Derek's back. I can continue. Like for the next two singles, what we need to do is we need a really badass song. Like the likes of River, the likes of Busa, the likes of Beginner, a really badass song that is a double center, you now double center.
Yeah, definitely.
The fans would eat that up, the general public would eat that up. And then Shiba Eri needs to be frontline for it. And then the second, because I think she needs to be framed as the next big girl. She has Korean fans, she has international fans, she has Japanese fans, she has the potential, she's a good performer.
How about
She
Chitamuya?
has the potential.
How about Chitamuya?
She's not that fresh girl we need. We need a fresh girl. If we want to like frame it as totally like a new AKB, we first need to like introduce her to the fans so it isn't like, you know, completely out of nowhere. Oh, she's the Santa now, like it was with the Shitsu and Arigato, you know, it was just like, oh, she's the Santa now, I guess, sure, why not? Like, she needs to be somebody the fans want to be the Santa. So she needs to be front line and like displayed so everybody's like, oh, who is she? Then she needs to be Santa with a more fresh, cuter concept, you know. And once again, it needs to be a good song. That's most of all the most important thing. Good songs. And I think Eri could do it. And then, of course,
After
we need a lot
Yuna.
more.
After Yuna, and then Eddie.
Yeah, Yuna, then Eri. And then go somewhere from there. And of course, they need new variety shows with like new concepts and new segments to it
Yeah,
that
definitely.
that are more modern, so to say.
One more thing though about those variety shows: don't just air them in Japan, but put them on YouTube or Netflix or any
Yes,
international carrier of those
honestly,
shows.
airing them on TV is irrelevant these days. It's like they get like night slots anyway. Nobody's watching them live aside from like the biggest fans. Put them on YouTube, put them online. People will be watching them there. That's just how it is.
Yeah, it happened with the theater performances. I can't remember exactly when. I think somewhere in the spring, where they did that, and that was really well received in the span
Yeah, it
of
was in
Yeah.
spring.
Yeah,
2
exactly.
days. Spring, hey.
Like this is from K-pop, but there is this boy group NCT that has like 23 members, and they are known for putting out a lot of variety style content on YouTube. That honestly, a lot of it could be done by AKB as well. Like for example, one really interesting thing they do is they call like awkward brothers or something like this, where they take two members who they think will be awkward around each other,
Ah, right,
put them
right.
in one room, and then try to make them at the situation between them as awkward as possible. They each have like earphones, and other members are telling them what they have to say and do, and like make it as awkward as possible with the goal of making those two members closer. And this kind of thing could also really work with AKB since there are so many members. Use that like, oh, there's so many of us. Let's show it all that. Use it somehow.
But one more thing I would like to add before the online variety aspect. Get in contact with the fan subbers like Good Enough Subs, Bloom and Taiko. Have them sub it in English as well to to make it easier accessible for the foreign fans. Because if you're going to on a platform like YouTube or a Netflix or an Amazon Prime or such, definitely people from outside of Japan are going to watch as well, and to have the show subtitled would be a great service as well. So that's my input on it.
I mean, there's so many translators here in Japan. Like, there's no excuse for not having that. But what I would say is they've never in all the history of AKB ever given a crap about the foreign fans. So I'm not going to hold my breath either in that regard. However, I will say one of the interesting things you guys just talked about, and like we just point out here, is like they don't need to rent a TV. Like they don't need to worry about being syndicated. Like you can do the same exact level, rent a TV studio, do your AK bingo type program, but then you have a massive audience to distribute via online, or even just for the Japanese fan, just online in general. Like you said, TV's a dead medium. Like you can, so many people are on their phones and are on, or online that's where they're going to probably watch stuff. And so, yeah, like that's got to reduce your costs. And again, variety is the lifeblood of these groups. Like if you're gonna have 100 members and I only know 2 of them because I don't have any chance to see any of them in action, how can I ever come to love and adore the group and have a community? That's
And
hard.
it's
That's really
and it's
hard.
not like the shows have to be expensive. You can literally make like 10 different YouTube channels, which to be fair, they are making YouTube channels, but the content is very, to be fair, bland on them. Not really anything that interesting so far. When they could have like a YouTube channel where like every week or like they have like a bunch of girls come in and like, I don't know, do a cooking competition, something like that, or just have girls come in and I don't know, do literally whatever. Try to get to know each other, try to stitch something, try do it yourself stuff, learn to be comedians, just learn to
Right.
dance, just anything, please, just give me anything.
I think we've all been wanting that for a long time, but that also I think is what contributes to things like AKB not being invited to Kohaku because there's just no interest anymore,
They aren't doing anything.
they're not
They
doing
aren't even
anything.
going through the. They're not even going through the motions anymore as they have the past few years.
Right.
That's basically it's been on a standstill this year, to be quite honest. So just going to put it bluntly, they've been at a standstill. So perhaps this is the wake-up call, and hopefully the start of a, in anime I would say a redemption arc basically, because it's needed big time.
I would say like it's not their fault per se. I mean, COVID hit and they just happen to be hit harder than most. But I also think, well, what's your excuse when you have a group like Sakurazaka appearing out of nowhere and all these other groups still becoming something, you know? And COVID's affecting them just as much. So
Exactly.
I think it's just really a matter of AKB's mismanagement at this point and like trying to figure out what's next for them. And that identity is going to be very important, you know? But what will it be? That's the question.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the main thing, to be quite honest. So they need to figure out something fast, because otherwise 2021 is going to be even a lost year as well, and most likely COVID will be over, hopefully, since the two vaccines are almost done, I would say. So it's more like they don't have much time anymore, I would say. So time is running out.
I would say I'm gonna predict that if next year continues like this year went with AKB, AKB is done. Just like
Yeah.
they are just totally done. Like, sure, maybe they'll like hang around, but I think that will cause just mass graduation. Like, because if you spend just 2 years sitting around, the members aren't going to stick around. Sure, some of them will for the love of the group and all that, but most of them won't.
Yeah. So to try and end it on a more lighter note, something interesting happened on Twitter for the core group during the 48 Talk days. Actually, one of the terms we've used, the devs Society, actually got used on Indonesian television. I'm not sure if any of you got any word of it, but it was more like
No.
someone on Twitter linked me, Derek, Colin, and Rage Bolly as the link basically, and it was an Indonesian program, and I was listening to it, and I heard the term we made up Devsasenkyo in it. I was like, what? Really?
Ah, funny.
Cool.
I think Derek also responded to it. It was a funny anecdote to try. Yeah, it was interesting to hear to see a term we actually came up during the show, still living on, basically.
Yeah, that was remember we really were, I particularly was really pissed off at MNL for doing something so horrible and wretched to their members, and still am upset about that, as I think a lot of fans are. And yeah, so we came up with that phrase or whatever, and that's kind of cool that it was used. We it's now been added to the idol lexicon, so very cool.
So so to end on a lighter note, any recommendations we should watch for upcoming week or upcoming period? I would say. I know Maru is going to say something, but let's start with Colin.
But there's something that I want to talk about before we go to do recommendations.
Oh, gotcha.
Today was a lottery with AKB for their 15th anniversary, which is 3 weeks away, on the 8th of December. And really interesting. I really like it. Basically, every member gets to sing a song. And what they did today was with the three captains, without Saho. Saho came later because she was busy. So Komi, Yuri, and Okabe-ren basically were like in a live stream, per team, a member picked a number. That number corresponded with a number. We only know like 10 songs. They didn't really reveal it. A very odd order in teams, like K, 8, A, or 4 then, and B was the last. I know that one.
Okay.
And got some really interesting things. Like Saho will be doing the Asai sisters.
Oh, what? What?
yeah. That's going to be fun. Someone is going to do Uza. That was also revealed.
Someone's doing No Way Man Alone.
Oh God.
That one as well.
Oh, wow.
Very few have been revealed. I also know that Nakanishi Chiyori will be doing Ice Note Kujizuka, which I think is hilarious.
Yep.
Because that's a song from the 12th Jan. Mayoshi sings it. And I'm like, okay, this is fun. I want to see what Chiyori does. And someone else, Machieda Saki, the 16th Gen, had very long hair and I'll cut it. She is doing, and I just 5 seconds ago I remember the song. It's the one that's the duet from Haruna with
Futari wa dekiteru?
That one. That one. And that's going to be interesting because I think she's young. And I wonder who she will be singing it with and how that will play out. But I'm really interested. They did that. They really hosted it in a fun way, and I really look forward to what the songs will be, how they will do it. I just imagine that they're going to be sitting in their room and just karaoke it. But I hope that there are the clever, the smarter members that do something more with it. Just something fun. Doesn't matter what, but more. I keep it open to them. I don't want to set expectations, but something. If it's just singing a song karaoke in the room, it's a good song. I'm okay. But I really hope they do something with that to really spice it up in a sense. So I really look forward to that. It's on a Tuesday, so that will be a great watch for me. It's the only
nice.
midday I don't have to work. And I really hope it will be cool. Also, the logo. I love the logo. It's so cool.
Yeah.
I haven't seen... they just like showed it's like, here's the logo. And I haven't really seen like on their Twitter that they released it because I want to have that. It's a cool logo. It's awesome.
Awesome.
We would have used it as a thumbnail. It's awesome. And other than that, yeah, I just look forward to it. It's gonna be fun. It's something good to look forward to, just like the esports event. That's it.
Gotcha.
Very cool. Very, very, very cool.
Nice. Meta?
Yeah, so hopefully Vanilla, the MV, will come out soon. So let's hope for that. Other than that, there's some road shows going on and birthday stages this weekend that people can watch. So look forward to that. Or maybe watch my unboxing video if you haven't. And you want to.
Good.
There you go.
Hey, nice plug. Nice plug. For me personally, I just got one thing to say, and that is happy birthday, Michan. Last weekend she had her 28th birthday, and she had a birthday party which Kojiharu, Mikaichi Mion, Mirayama Yuri, and Nishinomiki attended, and she did a live stream on YouTube as well, so that was enjoyable to watch.
Very much.
And if you have the chance to watch it back, I would say watch that one back because it was actually a really fun stream actually to follow along. Maru, anything you want to say?
Espa's debut is in, let me think now, it's in 14 hours and 47 minutes.
Ooh.
So, yep.
Oh,
It's
weren't
in
you going
14
to do
hours,
something?
47
Very
minutes.
specific.
I'm thinking I might do, or will probably do, a reaction video to it. So look forward to that.
Ooh. Those are
And
also
just-
popular.
Yeah, I'm so hyped for it. You all better watch it, Derek. You included. If you don't, I will actually fly over to Japan to kill you. Like, I'm not kidding here. Well, we'll not kill you. Tie you to a chair and make you watch it. So you know.
That sounds fun.
Silly.
I'm here.
Anyway,
Well-
Better watch out.
Espa's coming.
Geneva
Hype
Convention.
and Sakura Saka just released a B-side from their Nobody's Fault single that is sent by one of my Oshis, Karin. It's called Nase Koi wo Shite ko na kattan daro? And it has my other Oshikira in it as well. And oh my god, that song is so good. It's so good. It's the best. It's so much better than Nobody's Fault. It's 100 times better than Nobody's Fault. It's amazing. It's perfection. I wouldn't change a single thing about that song.
Oh, I'm curious.
So yeah, and if you haven't heard that, Derek, you better listen to that as well. Or
I mean,
That's for the
Just
next.
like-
That's for the next
Okay.
episode, I
Of
guess.
course I so so Sakusaka, Espa, check it out.
very good.
Take it away, Derek.
Yeah, no. Well, I think that's what I'm gonna do is try to avoid being tied up by a crazy woman. As fun as that sounds, not my style. But I would say instead, I actually shamelessly need to self promote. So Mary Bad Ends producer Kenji or manager Kenji's son is my good friend who's also running my new gym show management company here in Japan that's producing idols. He is putting on an online live stream for foreigners on December 5th. It'll have Zombie Powder, 8-Bit Brain, and Last Question. Last Question are the Nintendo role-playing idols that I really love. Zombie Powder, they're just ridiculously heavy and amazing. 8-Bit Brain has probably the best death voice screaming girl in all of Idol. So so that's going to be an amazing show. Plus there's 3 bands or 2 bands I think as well. So it's like girl bands versus idols. And so I'm helping them, like we're doing the live stream. You can buy the tickets at Idol Underworld. I'll deliver the code and everything before. And it's really cheap, something like $15 or
Oh, nice.
something. So, you're getting a lot of show for very little. And I don't know, it'd be a good introduction to some of the top like idol groups right now in the underworld that are like working really hard to survive COVID, because all 3 of those groups, like their live shows really depend on fan participation. So each of these 3 groups have particularly had some struggles with surviving. Although now in Japan things have gotten back to pretty much normal. Outside of not being able to do certain things at shows, there's shows every day. There's tons of shows. So I guess in that sense, it's back to the game. As far as other recommendations go, I'm trying to think. I will. Yeah, I think that's. Other than that, I made an announcement today that coming out next month. I want to say on the 21st.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's Nayota Aku's first photo book that I made. It's titled Blue Moth, and it really showcases both the very playful and light and bright side of Aku, this Harajuku style girl who's super fashion conscious and all things. She's like a walking ice cream sundae, but then like inside is like pure evil blackness
Oh,
and
wow.
something to that effect. She's got a super intense inner world, and so she let me into that world for a little bit, told me a bunch of stuff. I was able to construct a photo book that I felt really reflected that. So that's another extreme photo book where I can't believe Aku let me do the things I did. I zipped her up in a vacuum bag and sucked out all the air. That's just one half. And she's pretty much naked in it doing it. So I give her all the love and prop in the world for trusting me to do that. But
Wow.
again, I have points for all these, I promise. But anyway, so that's going to be coming out next month. It's going to be crazy. She's super famous here in Japan as far as like her fans. She's been doing Idol since like 2014, 2015. She is my all-time favorite idol of anybody in anything. And the fact that I get to work with her is like my biggest dream come true in life right now at this point. So I don't want to mess it up. So expect a lot more to happen with me and her going forward as far as like working together, coming up with projects and things. But Blue Moth is the first step, and Blue Moth I hope sells well because really kind of need it to. But it was not a cheap photo book to
Ooh.
make because it really required a lot of work and a lot of effort. It was a 2-day photo shoot, all that stuff. I can talk more about it later. But anyways, we're going to be doing a photo book release event for that. For Miho's photo book release event in January, I think we're going to do live stream for foreigners because she's also, I think, going to perform. Aku's going to perform at her photo book event too, but she's just doing like a DJ set.
Oh,
So
nice.
like Mio actually be performing original songs, I believe. So yeah, just be on the lookout for that. Plus, I have a bunch of new stuff up at Idol Underworld. Go check out everything. I have tons of new stuff. And yeah, just and also last but not least, if you haven't had a chance to check out Informal's new MV Drown, please go watch it immediately. It's utterly gorgeous. Hatsumi-san, their manager, filmed it. He liked filming, so he's done all their film work. And the song is very powerful. And if you want to know like why I'm so critical of certain songs, go listen to that song because that song's perfection. And then you'll understand like good songs are made, hit you here, make you think, have something different, can take things from the past done in other genres and incorporate it into Idol, which is totally okay to do, in my opinion. There's an old saying that if you want to do something new, you have to stand on the shoulders of those who came before you in order to see something new. So I feel like Informal is doing that, and I've been talking about Informal a lot lately, so I don't think I need to reintroduce them. But basically, they're like post-hardcore idol, and so they're just incredible. And I actually was their Checky staff last night. I had actually went to their very unattended Taibon where they had like 4 people there,
Ooh.
which I felt terrible for them. But I was their staff that night, and I had fun taking their Checky. It was fun. We still had a good time, and I got to talk to Hatamiya-san a little more. He's a very, very quiet, very private type of manager, who I think prefers to be behind a camera, not talking to anybody than talking to somebody. But I was able to crack him out of his shell a little, I thought. Because I'm naturally really, happy, and I'm super excited.
Talkative.
Exactly. So he has no choice. He has no choice. It's like, you will talk to me, or I will make it so uncomfortable for you that you will have to run away from me.
Oh wow.
One or the other.
Oh God.
No,
Oh
just
God.
kidding.
Nice.
Save the world from Derek.
But anyways, check out Informal's new MV. It's amazing. That would be my recommendation.
Awesome. And with that, we came to the end of this episode of Downtime. I'm your host DX, and as always, fun until the next episode. Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.